Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosensia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and sponsored by international award-winning author Mia Mosensia of Missing. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 40 podcast platforms, as well as HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds FM, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We can be heard in over 100 countries, featuring over 1,000 well-known and amazing guests throughout the globe. And named one of the top 100 global podcasts in the New York Weekly Times, Hollywood Entertainment News, Los Angeles Weekly Times, Apple, and Chartable. So sit back and relax and enjoy another great episode of the award-winning Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Mosensia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes, Riley, and many. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com and over 40 podcast platforms heard in over 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music. Also heard on HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds FM, Oldies Radio, and a few networks coming soon. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, baseball gear, and more. Makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia. For great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles, also T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia. Check it out today. I'll support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. Make sure you get generously today. We're here with 2 terrific professionals out there who collaborate on The Lonesome Trail, which is directed by an award-winning director and also featuring an amazing actor as well, too. He appeared in Homeland and also House of Cards. We'll talk about that. And we got a gentleman who was raised in San Diego, California, native Annapolis, Maryland. He's been in TV, film, commercial actor, and also appeared on Netflix, Showtime, Veep, and also he was a Madam Secretary and also numerous commercials and print ads, and also been featured in corporate video productions and leading supporting roles in several indie films as well, and is accomplished drummer and a sought-after MC host and public speaker. We'll talk about that. And also a dedicated philanthropist and founding board director of Autism, which is FYI.org. That's autismfyi.org, and also raising awareness and everything else. And of course, we have wonderful director who's from Reisterstown, Maryland, or Reisterstown. You can correct me later on. Writing, producing, directing award-winning Christian-based plays and music videos, short films, more of the decade. And together, we're going to talk about The Lonesome Trail. Live from the Plus Studios in the East Coast, we have the amazing award-winning actor, Lamont Easter, and also the amazing award-winning film director, Arlette Thomas-Fletcher of Lonesome Trails. Guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on board, guys. So thanks for joining us as well, too. So before we get started, Lamont, you're a native of Annapolis, Maryland, and you're raised in San Diego, California. You've been a TV, film, commercial actor for a number of years. You appeared on Netflix, Showtime, Veep. Also, you've been in Madam Secretary and numerous commercials and print ads. And you're known for Homeland as President Keene, and also House of Cards as Underwood's Secret Service agent. And also an accomplished drummer as well, too, and sought after MC host as well. And Arlette, you're also from Reisterstown, or is it Reisterstown, Maryland? So you can tell me which one it is. And you're writer, producer, director, award-winning Christian-based plays, music videos, short films for more than a decade. And before we talk about the Lonesome Trail and more, talk about how did you guys first get started? So you can choose Lamont or Arlette. So take your pick.
Well, I got started early on doing some featured background work on some of the shows you mentioned. For 6 years, I was on House of Cards as one of the primary Secret Service agents. Did 3 years with Julia Dreyfus on HBO Veep, a year on Homeland. And from there, I started really getting my acting juices going. So continued with some training and then launched into indie films. Did some work with Victoria Rowell for Jacqueline and Jilly. Several different independent films. Obviously met Arlette and did the Lonesome Trail. My bread and butter is kind of industrials, commercial work, voiceover. And I host a 5-day-a-week broadcast to the U.S. military around the world for Stars and Stripes. The newspaper for U.S. military around the world is called Stripes and Seven. I'm the host of that show 5 days a week.
Nice. Very nice. We're glad you can do service for your country that way. That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. I'm pretty proud of it. Thank you.
Okay. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
Me? Is that to me?
Correct. Yeah. What was that one precise moment for you that simply said, this is what I'm going to do?
Well, that's a good question. I think it was just being on set. When I first started getting on set about 9 years ago, it was enjoyable. I saw what the other performers were doing, and at the high level when you're talking about a House of Cards and Veep, and I decided, let me give that a shot. So I started getting some training and giving it my best effort, and starting the journey of learning the craft.
That's interesting. You also mentioned Julia Dreyfus as well too, and what was it like working with her? She's one of my favorites.
She was absolutely amazing, and pretty much the character that you remember from Seinfeld.
Oh, yada.
She wasn't acting. She was not acting. That is her personality. That is the way she rolls. Very personable, very down to earth. She and just incredibly talented. So I really enjoyed working with Miss Dreyfus.
That sounds very interesting. Love to meet her one day. And who are some other favorite actors and actresses, and also growing up as well too? Even your favorite movies growing up?
I think one of my favorite actors that I worked side by side with was Michael Kelly. He was the henchman on House of Cards. Just an incredible guy, an incredible family man. The character he portrayed is nothing like him in real life. He's just a gentle soul, very sweet, remembers your name kind of guy. But when you saw him on the show, his character, it was a side of him that never came out. except when we were rolling.
I think I can attest to that with some people too. So I understand. Oh gosh, that's amazing. I love what you got there. And Arlette, you're from is it Reisterstown or Reisterstown, Maryland? So if you
It's
want to
Reisterstown.
Reisterstown. Okay, thank you very much. Just want to get a double check on that here. You've been writing, producing, directing, award-winning Christian-based plays, music videos, and short films for more than a decade. You also working on Lonesome Trail. And Arlette, tell us how you first got started.
I've actually been writing since I was a child. I started writing when I was like 5 years old. I wrote poetry. I wrote plays. I even acted out the little plays when I was a kid. And I got involved in acting at a very young age. My mom named me after a famous French actress named Arlette Thomas, actually. My mom always called me her little actor. I used to think she meant I was putting on, but she may have meant that. But I really like the arts. I got involved in dance. I was also in the choir. I actually tried out for Peabody Institute for dance when I was young. I really was always in the entertainment arena. I actually took the acting workshop at Towson State University, the same one that Danny Glover was in when he was in Maryland. So I was very serious about acting. I learned a lot of different techniques, the Meisner technique, method acting, improvisation, and those are things that I still hold on to. I used some improv with Lamont and some method acting when we were working on things for the Lonesome Trail, and with some other actors. It's just when you really love this writing and performing. I actually produced my plays, and actually at the last minute, one of my actors decided that they weren't going to be able to perform, and I actually had to go on stage on a play that night, actually, and step in as a character. And oddly enough, I had the paper in front of me, and I was able to look down, and I was performing, and people were in the audience didn't have a clue, and I was like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe I do this."
Yes, I'm a newspaper reporter, paper boy.
it was really funny to me, but and people said, "You didn't seem nervous at all." I was a wreck, but I didn't want to let the other actors down. But yeah, this is kind of in my blood. It is something that is like breathing for me.
I admire you as well too. If I had got thrown into the last minute, so it's like, sweat would have just poured all over, thinking it was like a thunderstorm or something, or a leak in the roof or something. So I admire you guys for that. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career, Arlette?
I think what really influenced me was seeing actors who were really serious about the craft. Sidney Poitier was an actor I admired. Ruby Dee was an actor. Dorothy Dandridge was an actress I admired. I like a lot of old movies. Betty Davis was real. She, to me, was one of the first actresses that didn't care how she looked. She was raw, and it was truly amazing to see her perform and break, just break through. They always talk about the third wall and breaking that third wall. She broke it. She didn't care, what people thought. She was going to bring that character forth, and she would scare you because she was just that good. She was just that amazing.
and very amazing indeed. It made me think of the song Betty Davis Eyes and just pierced through you. So, I mean, that's just admirable what she does too. And besides Betty Davis and some of the others you mentioned, who are some of other favorite actors and actresses growing up along with some of your favorite movies?
Well, one of my most favorite actors has always been Danny Glover. I admire him tremendously. He's able to be funny, dramatic, and he's an activist. I mean, he does a lot of things to impact, society. So I admire him because of his true commitment to society as a whole. An actress that I loved growing up, actually, one of them was Barbara Streisand. And I know that's really funny. My brothers and sisters used to make fun of me because when I was younger, my mom bought me a Barbara Streisand album. Because
I love Barbara Streisand, and who doesn't love Barbara Streisand? Am I right? Don't you love Barbara Streisand?
Yeah,
I watched her in Funny Girl and What's Up, Doc, and different things that she did. I really loved just the fact that she was just so phenomenal in terms of her voice. I really love to sing. And I used to sing a lot of songs that I would hear her singing. And I truly, there are so many actors that I love. I mean, I could just go on and on. I mean, just different people who truly have the ability to just take you on that journey. And one of the things that I love about this industry, because I'm a creative, and being a creative, you can build a story from anything. I can see an ant and create a story. Look at what they did with the animation ants. So,
my gosh, that's one of my favorites. My kids really fell in love with it. It's like, that's so groundbreaking and so creative. It's like, how do they do that? That was so amazing.
When you're a creative, you can just build something from anything. It's just so amazing. I don't know if you liked Jackie Gleason. Jackie Gleason was, and I'm really not old enough to know all about Jackie Gleason, but I love Jackie Gleason. And I watched a lot of the old shows. You can't get them. You just can't get them. So you have to search to try and find them. But I love the remake that they did of that. And it's just amazing. There are so many things. I mean, Lucille Ball was also one of my favorite actresses.
Oh my gosh, my wife loves Lucille Ball. Yes,
because she was a businesswoman, and she took things seriously. She built her own studio. Her and her husband Desi Arnaz. There was a lot of things that they did. Her comedic background, she created it, kind of like Michael Jackson created his own way of dance. She created her own way of comedy. And it really, really impressed me just seeing that she was able to do that, step into that role. And she was able to continue to act when she got older. I mean, until the generations changed. And she just wanted to work. Working in this industry for her was like just breathing. And when she wasn't able to work anymore, I think that's one of the reasons why she, later died, because it was just in her blood and she loved it so much.
Mm-hmm. I was going to attest to Jackie Gleason as well, too, that it was perfect time, because we saw a remake of Jackie Gleason about the life of him. I think it was in 2002. We saw it on Amazon Prime, and it was talking about how Gleason grew up, as an only child. His older brother died, and where he got his comedy, his inspiration, and how the Honeymooners got started. And of course, the method acting, he wants to do it his way and everything. And it just made me think of this too. You kind of like, emulate Jackie Gleason. Do you feel you're close to being like a Jackie Gleason, or more of a Lucille Ball type? It just kind of got me thinking about that. I think I'm more of a
Lucille Ball type. And I say that only because I carve out my own space. And I was really blessed to have friends who were in the industry who were doing Westerns, and to be able to secure their location to do our Western. And that was One-Eyed Horse. And it was a blessing to have Wayne Shipley as a good friend and to be able to utilize that space. But to be in Maryland and to be able to have the opportunity to have a Western set. And I helped build that set. We helped paint it when they actually were putting everything together. So it was very exciting, and being involved with his Western films, and just having someone that's a friend like that to encourage you to do your Western. I mean, I wrote the Western, and but being around that, because I grew up with Westerns. I grew up, started watching Westerns. I was only 1 year old.
Oh,
and,
wow. Okay.
I remembered them because you remember fun things, and those were fun times with my dad. And being a child of a home where, your parents separate at a very young age, you remember the things that are actually important to you. And my dad was even surprised that I remembered that, I watched Westerns with him, and he was amazed. He said, you remember that? I said, oh yeah, I remember sitting on your lap. I remember falling asleep. And I remember the Westerns and how you would be so excited watching them. And he said, it's amazing that you remember that. But I did, and it made such an impact on me. I watch Westerns every day. I watch Gunsmoke.
That's one of my favorites, yes.
Yeah, I watch, oh my goodness, I watch so many Westerns.
Let's see, The Wild Wild West, I think it was like something Ross something. It's like, one of the stars. Lamont, maybe you can help me out with as well too, with the Wild Wild West. And who was on it? Like Ross something. It's like, I saw his name. I could think of his name. It's like, it was Ross something or something Ross. It's like, that was one of my favorites. I can't think of the name right now.
That's from so long ago, but the remake was with Will Smith.
Oh, yes, that's another one. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I know just about every Western there is. I even watch spaghetti Westerns. I love Westerns. I even I love True Grit. I love.
Oh, I watched that a while back. One of my favorites, the first one, John Wayne. Who can never forget John Wayne? I'll tell you.
I mean, you can't watch a Western and not see John Wayne, but you also have to be able to. I mean, Sam Elliott, Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer. These are people that are in Westerns. I mean, Banderas even, he did Westerns. Most actors will not pass up on a Western. Westerns are just intoxicating for most people. At least they are for me. I love horses. So for me, if I could, I would have a horse and get up every morning and just take a ride around my property and just watch the sunrise, because it's such a peaceful and serene experience to, be able to do that. Just enjoy that kind of environment. So Westerns kind of give me that. When we were on our set, we we had a studio house that was up the road, and then the saloon was down the road, and then down in the valley or gully was where we would shoot a lot of the scenes where the horses were running and different things were going on. And I remember running up to the studio house, running back down to the saloon, running down the hill, coming back up. And, you know, it's so amazing because it was a lot of running and it was so hot. It was hot because we shot the entire summer. Wow. But it was so hot. And oddly enough, nobody on the set knew that I suffered from heat exhaustion. Mm-hmm. I was out there in the burning sun running around, and I couldn't believe that I never, ever had one problem because it was hot. I mean, Lamont will tell you, it was hot. It was extreme temperatures out there.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure Lamont handled it pretty well. You can jump in if you want.
It was a full summer. It was a good time, but as long as there was a tree to sit down and run my lines and a tree to sit under and run my lines, then I was okay. Yeah.
Okay. And since we're on the Western subject as well, too, what are you guys' thoughts on Yellowstone and 1806? Those are the two, most popular I've seen as well, too. So what are your thoughts on those guys? To jump in.
Well, I like Yellowstone. It's a little modern for me as a Western, but I do like it. Now, the other one is a little graphic. I mean, I like just about every Western. I like Django, even though it was very graphic. And I am a Christian person, but it was very graphic.
Oh, yeah.
It was very graphic, very bloody. It's the only thing about Westerns, when they start, the more technology that we get and the stronger we get with technology and with CGI and all of these things, and depending on the director, they like to see a lot of blood. They like to see a lot of shooting. I like to see a lot of story. If you remember True Grit, you got to see a lot of story. I mean, John Wayne was on the horse when he was doing the horse scene where he was shooting the guys, but you just didn't see as much killing. But most men say, well, it can't be a Western if there's nobody getting killed. And I get it. I do. Because I am a Western fan. So I do get it, but I do love stories. And when you can see, Tombstone had a lot of killing, but Tombstone had a great story. I mean, the friendship, you just can't deny the fact that there was such a friendship between Doc Holliday, and Wyatt Earp. You just can't deny that. And that moved that story along. That kept you engaged, and I loved it. I mean, it was such a phenomenal story. And I mean, they had the, OK Corral, they had the fight and, the shooting and all of that.
And the guy always gets the girl. You know that, right, Lamont? The guy always gets the girl in the end.
It was a little there.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, Lamont, I think you were breaking up for just a minute. So yeah, just want to make sure you're still with us here. But, talking more about the Westerns and everything. Lamont, let's go to you for just a minute. What are some of your favorite Westerns growing up? We're even on a roll with Westerns. What are some of your favorites growing up?
You said it, Wild Wild West. The series, Chaparral, I grew up on those. And then we fast forward all the way to today. She said, Arlette mentioned Django.
Okay.
Version of Westworld from HBO.
Oh yes, that's another one. Okay, I remember that. And I think there's a couple others too, like, Bonanza, Ponderosa, and I remember Lauren Green was another one. There was like so many of them too. And we get into that. And let's before we fast forward over to Lonesome Trail and beating on a different drum here as we go on here. First, listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Widener Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews, and Eve 11 enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forbes Riley, and Else. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries, including Hamilton Radio, Oldies FM, Diamonds Radio, and more. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Widener Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Widener Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. For great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Widener Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. I'll support the Mike Widener Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, the MikeWidenerShow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with 2 terrific, talented actors and also a director as well from the East Coast in Maryland, and also in Maryland as well, here on the Mike Widener Show in Pennsylvania. So we're going to talk about the Lonesome Trail. And of course, you talk about how things go beating a different drum. And speaking of different drum, Lamont, you're also an accomplished drummer as well, too. And tell us more about that. It sounds fascinating.
My end of the signals. So could you repeat that question? I know it was about
drum. I'm sorry. Okay. You're an accomplished drummer as well, too. And, we're talking about going a different drum with the Lonesome Trail. And, tell us about you being an accomplished drummer as well. This sounds amazing.
Well, in my basement, I play, but I grew up being a drummer for a church and a gospel group. And I performed, literally at 16 with some of the biggest names in gospel at the time, Danabelle Hall, Andre Crouch. And so then my original plan was to be the world's greatest drummer. And then life got in the way, career. And so at this point, I just enjoy playing it, exercise, and for my own spiritual and creative abilities in my own basement, but I don't perform.
Okay, all right, we understand
it's
that.
Just one of my outlets.
And also, this also led you into a successful, partnership with Arlette as well too on the Lonesome Trail. And talk about how did you guys first come together and how this project first came together, the Lonesome Trail.
Do you want to say, Lamont?
I was event, a women in film and video event, and Arlette was there. It was actually a holiday event, and Arlette was there. It was my first time meeting her, and I brought these nice spicy wings along to the event, and they were the hit of the event. So Arlette just had to find out who is this guy who brought these delicious spicy wings. So we got to talking and saw a little bit of my, and she said, I'm doing a film and I think you would be great for a particular role. And that's where it began. Yeah.
That is rather interesting too, and of course, it's about where cattle baron starts using trail hounds to terrorize homesteaders in a small mining town, and a preacher comes to the rescue as well too, and he fights truth with a Bible and not a gun, and of course, he's able to get rid of the homesteaders, staying their ground, and how this idea first came about. Did it come from a story that was like in a papers or historical, or was like a number of events or something? And it sounds like a really creative thing too. Like most Westerns, they always bring their guns and everything else, but fighting with the Bible. You mean that's just really interesting.
Well, I actually was watching Tombstone at the time with my husband and my two sons. And it inspired me because I had never seen a Christian Western. And as I sat there, I said, I really would like to write a Christian Western. And I just started writing it kind of like as a story. And then I got caught up in the story. I started reading some of the story to my husband and my sons, and they were like, that sounds really good. And I said, So I said, well, let me keep writing. So I tend to, I'm very prolific. So I tend to do several things at one time sometimes. So I started actually writing it more and more. And then I decided I was going to kind of work on the screenplay. And so I kind of worked on the screenplay. I tend to flush out screenplays by doing a treatment, because the treatment allows you to tell the entire story from beginning to end. And I wanted to know how my story was going to end. So I decided I was going to kind of just write the treatment so that I could summarize it, so that I could get an idea of all my characters, flush them out. And I did that. And then I continued to kind of write the story out. And then I kind of wrote the screenplay. It was an original story. I know there are other films called The Lonesome Trail, but this was the title that, God placed in my spirit, and I called it The Lonesome Trail. I really got into the character of the preacher and Bill Barnaby, because, in the 1890s, there was a lot of different things going on, and there were racial issues during that time. So I thought, during this time, there had to be some friendships that took place between people of different races, even though, I had not seen that. I mean, Buck and the Preacher Man is not, about that. But there were stories of people being friends, but I really wanted to show this relationship of a Black man during this time and a white man who did not see color, that just saw two men. He saw himself as a man, and Bill Barnaby saw himself as a man. And to be able to show that this could take place and this kind of respect could happen. And so that's what I meant when I said that, when you're creative, you can build any world you want. You can build the world the way you think it should be. So that's kind of what I did. I wanted to show forgiveness. I wanted to show that people could work things out without necessarily fighting. The preacher went through a lot. Don't want to give any spoiler alerts here, but he went through a lot, but he stood by his principles, and it cost him. That's why the tagline is forgiveness comes with a price, because it does. Even in real life, it comes with a price. You forgive people, but it doesn't mean that they're going to change.
Exactly.
And so I know that the preacher, he even was pressed at one time where he, and this is a spoiler alert, he wanted to knock McCrae out, and he voiced it. He told it to Elizabeth. He said, I wanted to knock him flat. So to show his humanity, to show that he had a humanistic quality. I'm a man, and I get angry too. And, even though God is, my focus and I want to do the right thing, sometimes you feel like you could cross that line. And I wanted it to, wanted to show that humanistic quality in the preacher. And I think that we did it. And I truly like Peter Ray in this role. He epitomized that role for me. And I enjoyed working with him. And I think that he and Lamont Easter were together. They had a very good, energy together. And that was something that I really worked hard at, because in looking for the preacher, I said to myself, this has to be somebody that is really going to be able to carry the relationship. And these two people had to have a very unique relationship. And one of the things that Lamont did, which I appreciated so much, was he was so palatable. I mean, he was flexible. I know there were times I got on his nerves, especially when he was driving that team of horses. He was trying to drive the horses, and I was trying to tell him what I wanted him to do. And it's a lot of people don't realize, everybody thinks they can act. Everybody thinks they can, I can do that. But driving a team of horses, draft horses, those are some big horses.
Oh, and my goodness. Yes. It's like, even I can't even do one. I'll tell you. So, I'm a man myself. I have a hard time with just a plain old horse.
Yeah. There's some stubborn horses. And, the gentleman, Wayne Ward, who has passed on, thank God for him, because he trained Lamont and he really helped Lamont to learn it. And I remember a couple of times when he was, trying to move his horses, I was like, wow, I learned how stubborn those horses were, because I've ridden horses and I don't mess with horses that, have attitudes, or, that want to try and bite you, or, I don't mess with horses that have those kind of personalities. I like sweet, gentle horses. So, but those horses, he was so good with those horses. And then Lamont kind of took on Wayne's character. I think he borrowed some of it, because when he said, ha, ha, and he was very, very, very firm. And
I've never met a horse more stubborn than me, so we'll just leave it at that.
Nah, you make a great cowboy. I'll tell you, Lawton. You make a great cowboy. You can work on my ranch anytime. I'd be happy to have you on. Well, speaking of that, Lamont, tell us about your role in the film and what you do as well too, and maybe you can just share some of your stories as well too. From the movie The Lonesome Trail.
Well, as you have mentioned, I play the role of Bill Barnaby. Early in that period, as I was moving north with my family, out west, northwest, actually from the south, kind of trying to look for a better life for my family, with the way the situations were in the South at that period. And I had done some time working with the Union soldiers as a conscript, or a contraband, excuse me, where we weren't allowed to be a part of the Union force. However, we could work around camps and help pitch tents, help work out. So I started working around the camps with injured Union soldiers, started learning some of Western medicine, amputations, because I was helping out. Was also involved with some of the Indian tribes in the area. So I was learning herbs and different medicinal practices from the tribes, and kind of blended those together. And that kind of formed and allowed me to, when I did get to Red Spring that I had some additional talents. And so as we pulled in, I don't want to give away anything in the movie, but there were some tense moments, and Preacher Brent, played by Peter Ray, kind of intervened, and we began our friendship and our journey and our storyline in the film. One of these storylines is our relationship, and you see that grow in the conflict that we also had. So I think it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful relationship, and I think it comes across because Peter and I on set, he's just a great personality. The chemistry existed with us off screen, which allowed us to perform on screen. And so I can't say enough about Peter Ray as an actor, and a good sounding board. In addition to Arlette's direction, he was reinforcing my abilities in bringing things forward. So yeah.
That is certainly amazing. I love when everything all comes together. And what do you want the viewers to come away from the movie?
I think what I would love for viewers to come away with is that, there are so many different ways to settle things. And just being able to forgive doesn't mean, I know a lot of people, they get angry and they think if I forgive someone, then they got away with it. Actually, they haven't gotten away with it. If you forgive them to free yourself, because when you hold these grudges, they put you in a prison, and that prison just comes down on you and puts you in a bad situation. Being able to forgive and let go of things allows you to move forward, and just understanding that at any time the preacher could have raised his fist, gone and got a gun. Anybody can get a gun and shoot someone. Anybody can fight someone. The strongest person is someone who can diffuse an argument with their mind and their spirit. But to cuss someone out, anybody can do that. It takes resolve to be able, and I learned this from my mother, and I learned this from my grandmother and my great grandmother, who were the strong women that were in my life, and from my faith. I mean, we all get angry, and and I can't guarantee that you'll not react when you get angry. People react, but pause is what I would like people to take away. Pause, think about what you're going to do before you do it. Even when people hurt you, think about what you're going to do before you do it, because after you do it, you can't take it back. It's done, and the damage is done. As you will see when you watch The Lonesome Trail, there are so many different things that happen in this story. The friendship that Bill Barnaby and the preacher have is just an unusual friendship. And I think the trust that Bill Barnaby develops for the preacher comes out of a genuine spirit. And I think that it's something that everyone can take away as well. Just, friendships come from places you never expect.
Very true.
And sometimes you're friends with people you never expect.
Or you stumble upon by mistake. That's happened before too, right, Lamont? It's like, the best friendships are just unexpected. You stumble, or an incident, or, anything like that. So.
Absolutely.
Well, they say, opposites attract. So definitely that is true. And I think that's the case in The Lonesome Trail. There are opposites in this situation there, just like they are in life. So I think people will enjoy the film.
And where can we watch the Lonesome Trail at? And where can we find it at?
There are so many places. First of all, the Lonesome Trail book is on Amazon. People can get it in paperback. They can get it in Kindle, and they can get it in hard copy, the hard copy of the book. The film is on Apple TV, iTunes. The film is on YouTube, Vimeo. The film is also on, oh my goodness, Amazon Prime. The film is also on Dish TV. It's also on Comcast. It's also on Fios. All of this is video on demand. And it also is in some library systems as well. So they would just have to ask. It's pretty much everywhere on video on demand. And that is through Gravitas Ventures is the distribution. So truly, it's available and people will be able to get it. And I hope they enjoy it.
We certainly will check that out. What's coming up for actor Lamont Easter and director Arlette Thomas-Fletcher. We'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mian Wilson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with actor Lamont Easter and director Arlette Thomas-Fletcher of The Lonesome Trail after this time.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to The Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with actor Lamont Easter and director Arlette Thomas-Fletcher of The Lonesome Trail here on The Mike Wagner Show. And we cover a lot of ground. It sounds like a great movie to check out, The Lonesome Trail. And what else can we expect from you two in 2022 and beyond?
Well, for me, I can be viewed daily at stripes.com, which is the U.S. military, one of the U.S. military platforms. I'm the host of Stripes and Seven. It's news to the U.S. military around the world, the defense community and their families. It's an independent news source, so I'm the host there 5 days a week. Stripes and Seven. I continue. I'm in a hotel right now in Pennsylvania, getting ready to do a commercial shoot tomorrow. So here and there, I'll pop up on commercials, hopefully, in a community near you. I do hosting, MC hosting, a lot of things in the fashion community, a lot of charity events in the Washington, D.C. area. So I'm around. So if you want to kind of follow me, lamonteaster.com.
And you're also the founding board directors as well, too, for autismfyi.org. You speak for autism, childhood cancer, women's empowerment, and more, too. So you're really involved in a lot of projects.
Yeah. autismfyi.org is an organization focused on young adults on the autistic spectrum, and work with childhood cancer. So a number of things. I'm very interested in giving what I can, and most of that is my time.
Okay, well, certainly check that out as well, too. And Arlette, what can you expect from you in 2022 and beyond?
I am working on a number of things. I have a children's book called Dreamer's Journey that is on Amazon currently for Kindle. It's going to be coming out in paperback, and it'll be on Amazon. I also have another book called Planning Your Dreams.
Nice.
It's for teens. It's going to be in paperback. It'll be in hardcover, and it also will be in Kindle. It's already on there in Kindle and for Amazon. And I also have some songs that are out there. I have my song, Jesus, You're the One I Depend On. That's on HereNow.com. You're Not Alone is also on YouTube, and a great song if anybody wants to listen to it. It's really about just knowing that, that God is there for you and that you're not alone, so just an encouraging song. I also am working on an animation.
Nice.
It's called The Cat Face Cat. We're going to be doing it as a feature film. And we are working on it right now as a series. Also working on a book that's coming out. Well, actually not working on it, but it'll be coming out in September. It's called Giving God's Love to Others. And that will be coming out through a publishing company. It will be in bookstores in different places, probably Barnes and Noble and a lot of different places for that book. And also have a feature film that I'm working on, actually in development of. It's a superhero film with a lead female character. So just working on different things and, keeping busy. So excited about that. Also an audio book for the Lonesome Trail, working on that. That will be something that will be coming down the line, probably in maybe about two or 3 months. It's going to take a little time for us to get it all done, but that's going to be coming out. Yes, definitely a lot of things going on.
And sounds like you guys are keeping busy, which is amazing. And who do you consider biggest influences in your career, Lamont?
I kind of beat my own past, so I can't say anybody has influenced me. I influenced me, and I have a regular 9-to-5 job on top of it. I'm a career federal servant with a judiciary branch in federal government for the last 34 years, so I'm quite busy.
There's nothing wrong with being an influence in your career. Am I right? So, Arlette, who's your biggest influences in your career? You can say yourself. It's okay, just like him.
No, I wouldn't say my biggest influencer is myself. My biggest, I would say Cereba Rachel was a tremendous influencer in my life. She's a casting director who I met, who got me involved in film. In terms of theater, as far as that, I think my mother was truly an influence because she pushed me to be a creative person, to sing, to act, to dance. So my mother was a tremendous influence in that. And so in my writing as well, and my mom's name was Inez. And so I would say, yeah, she was a tremendous influence in me being me. And I forgot to mention that if people wanted to reach out to me or couldn't see my work, they can go to ArletteThomas-Fletcher.com. But yeah, the greatest influence of all for me is Christ. I am a Christian, so I would say that because God always places these things in my heart. And if it wasn't for him waking me up, I wouldn't be here. So that is one of my greatest influences over top of everybody and anything. And that is something I'm very grateful for.
And certainly amazing as well, too. That's fantastic. And what's the best advice you guys can give to anybody at this point?
What I would say is, in terms of, you can be anything you want to be if you're willing to put in the work. We all have our road. We all have our path. If you have dreams, you have to have goals. You have to have a plan, and you got to work your plan. You can't do what you want to achieve by not working your plan. When I met Lamont, he had a plan. He worked his plan, and it worked out for him because he stuck to his plan and what he wanted to do. And one of the things that I've seen with so many actors who have a plan, it's a road and it's a path that they have to take and be committed to. And some people, it may not work out the way they thought it would, but for some people it does. But you have to have a plan and you have to be committed to it. Sometimes you have to work a full-time job and do what you do. I work a full-time job and do what I do. I'm not ashamed of that. So I kind of work like 3 jobs at one time because
there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody does it these days. I mean, dual career is still okay, or even tri-career. It's okay, guys. You can still do it.
Yeah. Yeah, so you do what you have to do, and it's really about hard work. It's really about that and commitment and not giving up because don't quit. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on what you believe. Don't let anybody deter you from that because people will tell you this is a hobby. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but you won't find out unless you try. True. And you give it all you got, because one day when you when you look back, you want to know that you at least gave yourself the opportunity to be all you could be. And that's the key thing to me.
And certainly true as well. Lamont, what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
One foot in front of the other, just one step at a time. That's really it. Keep moving forward. And if there's a fork in the road, doing something is better than doing nothing. Always make a choice and go for it. And follow your heart, stay true to yourself, and speak your truth.
Mm-hmm. And very truthful indeed as well. We're with actor Lamont Easter and director Arlette Thomas-Fletcher of the Lonesome Trail in the Mike Wagner Show. Guys, a very big thank you for your time. You both have been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you guys soon. Make sure you keep this up to date. Keep in touch. Glad to have you back. And once again, tell us, where can we find the Lonesome Trail? What are your websites? How do people contact you? Where can everybody purchase your works, check out your works, and especially check out the Lonesome Trail?
Well, for me, it's LamontEaster.com. And if you have any medium of electronic where there's video on demand, you can search for the Lonesome Trail, Arlette Thomas-Fletcher, and you will find it.
Okay. And Arlette, where can we find you at?
You can go to ArletteThomas-Fletcher.com, the Lonesome Trail.com. You can also go to FruitsOfTheSpiritProductions.com, and you will see our work. You can purchase books for me online by looking up my name, Arlette Thomas-Fletcher. If you go to ArletteThomas-Fletcher.com, you'll see all the books I'm working on. Also some of the projects that I'm working on, you'll see on FruitsOfTheSpiritProductions.com. And definitely be on the lookout. We're strongly considering doing some crowdfunding for the animation. Animations are a huge undertaking, and we've been able to get 2 of our episodes done, and we'll be working on other episodes. But doing the feature will be a tremendous undertaking. So definitely keep looking out for us. It's called The Cat Face Cat. And we will have our proof of concept out, as well as our trailer for it soon.
Sounds great. We're certainly looking forward to it. Guys, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch. Love to have you guys back. We wish you all best. And Lamont and Arlette, you both have definitely a great future ahead of you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
I want one of those pillows.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show. Brought to you by international award-winning author Mia Mohsen-Zia of Missing, and powered by Sonic Web Studios. Be sure to join us again on over 40 podcast platforms, and of course on the MikeWagnerShow.com, HamiltonRadio.net, and Diamonds FM. Don't forget to support our program with a generous donation at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Thanks for listening.